Hi everyone and welcome back to the subject World Literature class. So previously we have already talked about the reading and writing about poetry, and then we'll be moving on with another topic of ours in world literature. And this one is still included into your topics that will be included into your midterm examination. So once again, everyone, our topic for today will be dealing with reading and writing about drama. So let's now move on. So what do you mean by drama? The difference of drama into what we have learned about in terms of the reading and writing about fiction is that when we talk about drama, it is also a type of fiction, but this one is performed. Okay, so when we talk about drama, this is a literary work which is meant to be performed on stage, and therefore comes from the Greek word dran, meaning to do or to act. So again, from the fictional stories that we have, and then try to put like that one into a dialogue and perform, that is already called drama. Okay, so here also under drama, wherein eventually those stories will be, transformed into a play. So that form, or that form of a dialogue into a play, this one is a story acted out. So here, it shows people going through some eventful period in their lives, seriously or humorously. Anyway, as we go on and move on to the different topics of drama, we're gonna be dealing with different types of drama. So there are some types of drama that are serious, some of them are humorous, and some are like just half serious and half humorous. Okay. So here at play also, this it's a speech and action recreate the flow of human life. So definitely this is the reenactment of the stories of life of humans, tribulations, human events, but this one is performed on stage. So it comes fully to life only on the stage. Okay. So according to Ben Kingsley, that one of the greatest things drama can do is to redefine the words we use every day, such as love, home, family, loyalty, and envy. Tragedy need not to be a downer. Um, Previously we have already talked about the reading and writing about fiction, wherein there are different types of stories, right? Different types of story. And as I have told you, that drama is performed on stage, and therefore you try to look it into, the totality of a story. So even though we do have different types of stories and then presented and performed on stage, but if you're going to be looking at it from the very beginning up to the end, you're going to be looking into that those stories performed on stage, and a drama definitely is something like inspires people and make a story, though different tribulations are coming, it becomes a beautiful story because everything that comes into the story itself is a full pack. Without the tribulation, the drama cannot be complete. So if you're gonna be comparing it into life also, we people, or we humans, really need to experience the different tribulations of life so that our life would be complete. So without those ingredients of pains, challenges, and all, definitely our life will not be absolutely beautiful as it is. So that's it for according to Ben Kingsley. So let's now move on. According to Brander Matthews, the principles of playmaking, that the art of dramatists is very like the art of the architect. So the art of architect wherein we are the ones who try to, or humans try to draw their own stories. So a plot has to be built story after story. And no edifice has any chance of standing unless it has a broad foundation and a solid frame. So different tribulations, different stories, different events that happen into the drama is basically more of the frame of the story to make it into the ending. So without the different, stages of life, definitely there will be no solid frame of story that we have on drama, which is also can be compared to our life also. So according naman to Michael Haneke, the drama lives on conflict. If you're trying to deal with social issues, seriously, there's no way of avoiding violence, which is so present in society. So what does it mean? That tribulations, pains, social issues, when we try to make it seriously, I mean, we try to make our life so serious and not to get into the light of life. Definitely, we're gonna be living into a life that is not worth living for. So therefore, try to look into, I mean, the totality of it, that every, I mean, part of the events of that happened into the story of yours, or into the story of what you are watching being performed, is basically more of really, it is crafted, like the ones with the other author have told you, that it is a beautiful art of life and a beautiful story. So we do have different types of drama, as what I have told you a while ago. The first one is about tragedy. Second one is about the melodrama. Third one is comedy. Fourth one is farce. Fifth one is fantasy. And the sixth one is the musical drama. And the last one, which is about the tragic comedy. So let's start with tragedy. So when we talk about tragedy, with the word itself, I know you're very familiar with the word tragedy. The ending of this drama, or the ending of the story, is not so good, because the protagonist has a downfall at the end of the story, and he has a direct result of a fatal flaw. So not only with that, but usually here at the tragedy, more of lots of disasters happened, or tribulations into the life of the main character. So what are the requirements of a tragedy? How would you know that it is a type, or a type of genre of a drama that is tragedy? So the play must concern a serious subject, and then the leading character must be a great figure, or one that is representative of a class, and he must represent more than that an individual. So here, the incidents must be absolutely honest and without the element of coincidence or chance. So what should happen must happen. So the basic emotions are those of pity, fear, pity of the protagonist, and suffering. And most of the time, at the final analysis, the protagonist will have a defeat, and of course, will go into the enlightenment or the catharsis of Aristotle. Enlightenment is about more of the higher level of realization of life. I mean, for what he has done all throughout his life. I mean, from his bad deeds or good deeds or whatsoever. So these are the top 10 best strategies according to Adrian Poole. So the Orestia, the Antigone, Bacchae, Hamlet, King Lear, Samson Agonistes, Agonistes, Phaedra, Tristan, Wedding, Not I. So let's move on. Let's move on with our next type, which is about the melodrama. Melodrama is basically more of the ones that we are being tagged with, that Filipinos are melodramatic. Melodramatic because we are very emotional. Yeah. So when we talk about melodrama, is basically, this is a term applied to any literary work that relies on implausible events and sensational action for its effect. So here, there are lots of conflicts into a melodramatic type of drama, and it arises out of the plot rather than characterization. So we do have different climax, I mean, different sets of climax into the story. And then virtuous individual must somehow confront and overcome a wicked oppressor. So usually at melodrama, there is what we call protagonist and antagonist. And usually at the end of a melodrama, the protagonist defeat the antagonist and they live happily ever after. Next one is about the requirements of melodrama. So the same thing with the tragedy, it requires a serious subject. However, here, the character are more loosely drawn than in tragedy. Medyo negative kasi in tragedy. Here, in melodrama, medyo ano lang siya, mild, I mean lighter drama. So this makes it easier for the audience to identify itself with the characters and creating a stronger empathic response. Whereas in tragedy, most of the elements are into episodic, exciting incidents are brought into play if it is melodrama. Well, in terms of tragedy, it's just a one act type of drama wherein there's already ending. Unlike in melodrama, we can have like series of episodical stories. So here also, there may be an emotion of pity, sentimentality, fear, and also temporary or surface type. So there is no real enlightenment, even if defeat, and in most instances, the protagonist does win his battle. So these are the examples of melodrama. The Dion Bosey cults, the Harry S. Beecher Stowe's. Let's now move on with our next type, which is about the comedy. So I know you're very familiar with that when we talk about comedy, it's something more of fun, lighter, amusing the reader, no terrible disaster. I mean, the story is so simple only, but what makes it comedic is because of the characters. So high comedy refers to verbal wit, really associated with physical action and less intellectual. So romantic comedy is another type of comedy wherein it involves a comedy, but it has a mixture of a love affair from the different characters. So from parents, disobeying parents, mistaken identities, deceptions, and overcoming them to an end in a blissful union. So these are the requirements of comedy, like what I have told you. This is a type of drama that is so lighter. And then there is a thoughtful laughter, and both possible and probable. And there is a growth of character rather than a situation. So that's what I'm telling you. The situation is not so serious, but what makes it comedic and what makes it fun is because of the characters itself. So here it is honest in its portrayal of life. So these are the comedies written by Shakespeare: All's Well That Ends Well, As You Like It, The Comedy of Errors, Cymbeline, Love's Labor's Lost, Measure, The Merchant of Venice, The Merry Wives of Windsor, Midsummer, Much Ado. So Much Ado is an example of a comedy written by and performed by Shakespearean. And the play is romantically funny in the love that between hero and Claudio. So these are the next one. Why am I already at the farce? So the next type of it is also a comedy, but it is more of a different kind of comedy. Wherein here, the characters are hurting each other to make can be fun to the ones that watching. So these are the requirements of that. So laughter, there is a object, Ryoto's laughter and escape, and then it is a lifelike manner, and usually the spill are more of realistic. And the realistic thing is really came from their own realistic life. Okay, so this is dominated by situation rather than the character and calls for little or no thought. So again, farce is another type of drama. I mean comedy. I'm sorry. So it must move very rapidly in an episodic manner and is believable only for the moment. So again, that's farce. So that's what I'm telling you. This is characterized by humor, but more of a slapstick or other physical humor. So physical humor might sometimes they're nagsasakitan or whatsoever just to make just to make them funny to the audience. So the example of that one is the Oscar will display the importance of being earnest. So this is a very example of popular example of Victorian farce. So here, a man uses two identities of Jack and also Ernest for his beloved woman, Gwendolyn. So these are also another well-known examples of farce. So if you're gonna be looking into the title of the different types of drama, really, with the title itself, you can already identify what type of genre are you watching and are you reading. So the next one is fantasy. Fantasy, I know you're very familiar with this one, wherein fantasy is one of the type of drama that you usually see in a big screen. So this is a completely fictional work wherein there is a supernatural skill. They are appealing to children because they are more of fairies, angels, superheroes, and other fantastic creatures. And they use magic, pseudoscience, horror, and spooky themes. So these are the examples of fantasy. So like that. So the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the Narnia, the Hobbit, the Reluctant Dragon, and that's it. So I guess this would be the last type of drama, which is about the musical drama. And one of the examples of musical drama is Miss Saigon. And I guess we do have also like different tales wherein they are already put into a musical drama. So the dramatists not only tell their story, but they're using dance as well as music. So music, melody, and dance play a significant role in a musical drama. So usually, it became popular as what we call as opera. So tragic comedy, from the comedy going to the farce, going to the tragic comedy. So if you're gonna be comparing it, it is more of intensifying the type of comedy. Here at the tragic comedy, more or less, of course, this is a type of comedy, but the ending is into a tragic play. So contains enough comic elements to lighten the overall mood, but a serious play with happy ending. So this is incorporated with jokes throughout the story just to lighten the tone. So these are the examples of tragic comedy: The Merchant of Venice, the Anton Chekhov's play, The Cherry Orchard, and the Samuel Beckett Waiting for Godot. So we'll now be moving on to the elements of drama. So what do we need to see on stage? What do we need to see on being performed? So these are the Aristotle 6 elements of drama. So if we're going to be looking at it, it's the same thing with the fictional. Fictional stories. However, the one that is added is of course, the diction. Though the fictional prose, they have also diction. However, it is only through words. But here, into the drama, of course, this one is being delivered. So definitely it is a different one, a different type of attack because it's being performed. And another one we do have here, the music, melody, and the spectacle. So plot, I know you're very familiar with plot, that these are the incidents of a drama. Usually that starts with the beginning, the middle, and the end. And the climax, of course. Next one is about the character, and I know you're very familiar with the character. Character are basically the people that really portrays and acts in the play. So that's it. Next one is thought, or what we call also as the theme. So this is the central idea of the drama itself. So what is being surrounded, or a thought or idea that is surrounding the drama. So diction is basically more of words. So these are the dialogues, the words utilized by the actors. So these are the words written by the playwright and spoken by the characters in play. So dictions are very important because it helps you determine what type of character are you trying to see, and also what emotions are they portraying into the drama. So the next one, another element is about the music, melody, and rhythm. So of course, the music attached to the drama is basically really important because it highlights the emotions, it intensifies the emotions, and it adds beauty to the one that being performed. So the next one is spectacle, which this one includes the visual elements that you see into the play. So special effects of lights, the makeup, the props, the sets, they are very helpful to intensify the meaning of the drama, because what you see may not be something like off if the character is poor, and then it's a poor kind of setting, and therefore you need to have also a poor character should have also a poor living in a poor kind of setting. So in short, the things that you see should really be consistent of how they portray also. So again, spectacle or upsis, these are visual elements, makeup, props, sets, costumes, special effects that really help to make the drama be realistic. So refers to everything that the audience sees as they watch a drama, and the least artistic element of tragedy, and the least connected with the work of the poet. So another one is plot and conflict. Conflict is also one of the important part of a plot. And way back into the reading and writing about fiction, we already talked about the different types of conflict. like the man versus man, the man versus society, the man versus nature, and more. So conflict is very important in a story. Without conflict, there's no exciting part that you want to see into the poem. I mean, into the drama, of course. So again, conflict is very important to make that there is something revolving, and at the same time something to solve. So it maintains from the plot itself, as what I have told you, that they need to be beginning, middle, and then usually conflict is in the middle, and the resolution is into the end. So we have here also the mainspring of plot is conflict, that way, like what I have told you, which can be physical, psychological, social, or all three. So here it contains, or the plot also must contain elements of astonishment, reversal or peripeteia, recognition, and suffering. Reversal is an ironic twist or change by which the main action of the story comes full circle. So if there is a twist within the story, that's reversal. Another one is recognition. Recognition is the change from ignorance to knowledge. So it's like recognizing the involving people coming to understand one's another's true identity. And another, of course, is suffering. So suffering is another something that sparks into the plot, which also incorporated with conflict, because this is the painful action and often the result of a reversal or recognition. All three elements create catharsis, which is the endangerment of fear and pity in the audience. And when the audience has that kind of impact, meaning you are really successful in giving the emotions to the to the audience itself, to the one that who watches you. So pity for the tragic hero's plight and his fate might befall us. So again, so that's about the drama itself. So for your after the midterm examination, as what I have told with the other section, we're going to perform a play. Maybe we'll have it face to face. So that would be all, everyone, and have a nice day. Goodbye, everyone.